Hi everyone, thanks for joining. This video is a 2-night, 3-day backpacking trip into Colorado's Holy Cross Wilderness. I made this trip in September of 2024, and a friend of mine, Brian, whom I met over the summertime, came along. He actually suggested this area. Met him and his family while traveling, and they are great people. Had a great time. Can't say enough about Brian, both as a person and a backpacking partner. Really enjoyed his company, really enjoyed the place that we went. And so Brian, thanks. I hope we can do this again. It was a really good trip. So the area we chose is in the south part of the Holy Cross Wilderness. There is a loop that you can do that a lot of people do as a day hike. It involves 2 passes over 12,000 feet. You're starting out about 10,500, so the elevations are a bit challenging. I will say Brian is in great shape. I don't think he broke a sweat, and he got to watch the flatlander me suffer a little bit on the way up, but he was patient, and I really appreciated it. So you'll see on the map our route. The first day we went on kind of the first part of what would form a loop, and then proceeded down into Cross Creek drainage. Spent a night up on one of the alpine lakes up in that area, which was just beautiful. Next day we spent a little time exploring down Cross Creek, and actually we're in some areas where Trish and I had been several years ago before I started doing videos, so it brought back a lot of memories, and it was a lot of fun to be back there. The second night we went over the second pass, different area, spent the night, and the third day out. So Colorado is a beautiful place, as anyone who's been there knows. All the Rocky Mountain states and all mountain states, mountain areas seem to have their own flavor, their own personality. And I will say Colorado is a visually stunning place. It's like what you imagine, postcard. You see the ski areas, you see the mountains. I mean, it's a gorgeous place, and I really like going back there. So yeah, I hope Brian and I can do this again in the future. I hope you enjoy the video, and so we'll take it from there. So here's our first look at the map of the area of the Holy Cross Wilderness where we were, and I've zoomed out a little bit to give you a general idea of the area. Up to the north is the Holy Cross Mountain. It's one of the Colorado 14ers, and it runs along a ridge that goes north-south. That is the eastern boundary of the Cross Creek drainage, and that's where we spent the 2 nights that we were in there. So this whole area is kind of visible from where we were. Really gorgeous, high elevations, and yeah, awesome views. So we began down at the Fancy Creek trailhead down here to the south. I'll zoom in a little bit and give you a better idea of how things look. Our first day's route is this orange trail on the north end. The Missouri Lakes trailhead shown here on the map, and this is the base layer Gaia map, has actually changed. I guess this map hasn't been updated in a while, but the Missouri Lakes trailhead is actually right next to Fancy Creek trailhead. So a lot of people make this a day hiking loop. I think it's maybe 10 miles in distance, but obviously a lot of elevation gain and loss. Fancy Pass up here and Missouri Pass are the 2 highest points. Fancy Pass is somewhere in the neighborhood of 12,400, and Missouri Pass is just a little bit lower. Most of the information I saw, people like to take the Fancy Lakes Trail first. It's steeper. Get the steep stuff out of the way first, the hard stuff. Get over the pass, come around, and go back down the Missouri Lakes Trail. Come back out right here. So the first one in orange is what we did the first day. We can take a look at some of the stats. You'll see it was a total of a little bit over 5 miles, elevation gain of 2,600 feet, and again, if you look, the highest point is right at the Fancy Pass. So I'll close that, take another look. We did have a lot of day hikers that were going up and doing the loop. We began on a Saturday, so yeah, there were a fair number of people there. once we got over Fancy Pass, much fewer people because they continued on to do the loop, and we pretty much, other than a couple of backpacking groups, were by ourselves. When we did get over, we continued from the trail junction right here and went down into Cross Creek Valley and then back up to Blodgett Lake, where we spent the first night. It is well above tree line, up there out in the open, pretty much surrounded on the west side by peaks. Really cool views of the whole valley, and looking out to the north you can see a long, long way. There really is no established trail from Cross Creek right here, so we went shooting right up the slope, which was pretty steep. By the end of the day we were pretty tired after our climb, but it was worth it, and you'll see all that cool stuff in the video. So as far as other people on the trail, we did meet one group of young ladies. There were probably maybe like a dozen or so that were just really cool. They're going up the trail and just booking it, and obviously having a lot of fun. Very cool to meet them. You'll see them in the video, and they were just having a great time. So it's just the way things should be. So we'll go ahead and get into day one of the video and take it from there. All right, September 7th, 2024. Starting a little trip with my friend Brian, who you'll see, in Holy Cross Wilderness at the trailhead. Take a quick look around. Alright, it's a little map of the area. Our plan is to start at the trailhead, go up this trail, past Fancy Lake, over the pass, maybe make it somewhere in here. We'll see where we go from there. And then our final day will be coming out and completing this little short loop, but it is going to be a climb. So here we are. Alright, there's Brian leading the way, entering the wilderness area. Alright, there's Brian heading up the trail. Got some water running below us. Bluebird day. Going across Fancy Creek. Well, we're starting to climb a little bit. Very good. We haven't had an actual picture of what you look like, so. Brian from Colorado Springs. We met a while back, and he's kind enough to come along on the trip, and the man is in good shape and getting right up this hill. Nice day. We're getting out of the trees, folks. A bit smoky today. Fancy Lake. Heading up there, using a lot of oxygen in the process. All right, awesome ladies. Top of Fancy Pass with some awesome young ladies. Good job. It's pretty cool. To give us a good view down the valley. And Trisha, down that valley is where you and I came up from several years ago. We almost made it up to this area, but not quite. Down in where those trees are. What's the name of that creek? Cross Creek or something, maybe? Anyway, I'll put it in the video, but yeah, really cool place. You're fine, you're fine. Well, welcome to our camp for the first night of 2, and we're actually at Blodgett Lake. We actually came through the pass that is just over Brian's head there in the back. You see that notch? That's Fancy Pass, and I think the highest that my guy at GPS said was like 12,360. So yeah, there was feel some burning quads and some burning lungs up there, but we made it. Credit to Brian, he's in great shape. I don't think he broke a sweat. But this is our camp, so we had to come down from there, drop down into the valley where you can see the trees, go down there and then climb back up this one. There's really no trail up here, but we do have like one other group of campers over there. You can see the tent. But this is Blodgett Lake, and knock on wood, the weather will stay good and it is beautiful. So hopefully we'll have some really cool alpenglow and views in the evening and the morning. take a really quick look at the map for day 2. I don't have a track from this. Something kind of went wrong with things while I was tracking, and it wound up not being correct, so it's not shown here. So I'll just take you through it manually and show you what we did. We again were camped overnight at Blodgett Lake, so we climbed back down. We got down to the Cross Creek Trail, and just for fun, we followed it up north along where this blue route is shown. We made it to right about here. We were hoping to get up to Harvey Lake, which is right here, a place that Tricia and I had visited several years ago coming from the north. So we made it right about here, and we weren't really aware of it, couldn't really remember the trail goes up this way. We couldn't find it down here, it hadn't gone quite far enough, but we decided with having to go back up and over Missouri Pass that we were going to save our energy, so we just had a little hike down there and turned around and came back. There is an old mine ruins. There's actually like some remnants of where they're doing mining activities, and then down somewhere in here I think there's an old cabin right next to the trail. It's kind of fallen apart, but yeah, apparently another area where they were doing some mining. So we just backtracked, came back up, got back on the trail to go back up towards the passes, climbed up here and past Treasure Vault Lake. At this point we turned south to go over Missouri Pass. Now interestingly enough, there was also some mining activity almost near the very top of the ridges here. I mean, these guys are over 12,000 feet at some point in the past, mining, I assume by hand. You could still see an old hole where they put a shaft and some spoil piles and some timbers. So somebody was working really hard. I wonder if that has something to do with the name of this lake. So we climbed up the pass and got our first view of Missouri Lakes, which is this collection down here. Came down, and we wound up going all the way down to the south of this main lake and finding a campsite, which is really nice. Had great views back up towards the pass. Did have some weather try to come in. Some cells went just to the south of us, so we really didn't get rained on. It blew kind of hard for a little bit, but no weather hit us, so we had just another night there, and that was it for day 2. It's day number 2, and the sun's just hitting the hills over the lake. Day 2 morning, 10 o'clock, climbed down from Blodgett, stashed our packs. We're going to take a day hike down to where, down this way, old mine ruins that Tricia and I visited several years ago, and maybe Harvey Lake. All right. Can you go first?
You go first, then that way you can video as much as you want.
Okay. When I fall on my face, pick me up. Can't see our passes from here.
You can see the trail, kind of.
You can see the trail, yeah. Creek down in the bottom that starts right here. Alright, so there's Brian. We are at the top of Missouri, Missouri Pass, right? Yeah. And so we are looking now to the south, and that's one of the Missouri lakes down there, but we made it. We made it. And back the way we came. So final look at the map showing our route for day 3. This is the entire loop that I described on the map for the first day. Our route for the final day is shown in this colorful hot pink. I'll zoom in just a little bit. Our camp area at the south of Missouri Lakes, we followed that simply just down and back to the trailhead and out. I did not take a lot of video for this day. I was just about out of batteries, and a lot of it, once we got down from the lake, was through the trees. There wasn't a whole lot of wide open views or anything. Our campsite was just right about at tree line, and you'll see that in the video. Again, great views looking up to the pass, so very pretty area, cool place to spend the night. So you can see it wasn't even 4 miles to get out. We dropped not quite 1,500 feet, and it took us 2 hours to get out. So a short trip out to conclude our trip. I hope you stick with it to the end and enjoy. As always, we'll have a little bit of slideshow and some music at the end, so thanks for joining. Well, good morning. It's our third day, about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're looking over the biggest of the Missouri lakes at Missouri Pass that we came over yesterday. This will be about it for the video today because I am running out of batteries, but I'll take you for a quick walk around. The sun is just starting to hit the face of the western mountains. We have just a short, probably a less than 4 mile walk out this morning, and it'll be mostly in the woods. So there won't be much to film anyway. And we're looking to the south right now, and we'll be going down that valley to get out. And so here is camp. It's about 35 degrees this morning. We just missed some storms yesterday afternoon. They just went to the south of us.
summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have the girl I love, I don't want none at all. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I know. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound for Shady Grove. Wish I had a banjo string made of golden twine. Every tune I play on it, I wish that girl was mine. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I know. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound for Shady Grove. Wish I had a needle and thread, fine as I could sew, so that pretty gal to my side and down the road I'd go. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I know. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound for Shady Grove.